Hi all, this is BRR. Today's topic is Introduction to Git. What is Git and what is the use of Git and where we are using this Git repository? Before getting to deep to the Git services and providers and the uses of this Git, so we'll discuss about what is Git basically. Git is a version control system. What is version control system? For example, if you have a file on which you have been working on and reworking for a long time, all the times, easily get back to every version. If you want to see what was the code change you have done in the, yesterday and before day and based on the version, this version control system will track all your changes based on the version. That is nothing but a Git. If I can say in the outer level, it is a bunch of files and folders. So version control is a system that records changes to a file or set of files over time so that you can recall specific version later if required. Similar thing we can see in Visual SourceSafe VSS and TFS Team Server Foundation, and later advanced version is Git. So basically this Git version control system has following benefits. One thing is you have access to all versions of all files in the Git repository at any time. It's almost impossible to lose any part of your code because you are maintaining everything in secure manner and secure place, and you have a tracking for each and every operations happening on the Git repository, so everything will be secure. And second thing is multiple developers can work on one project at the same time without interfering with each other and without fear about the code changes they are working on, because the fear of losing possibilities of collaborative work are unlimited. So these are the main two benefits I can say in the version control system. As I said, Git is a version control system. So these two are the main features we have in the Git repository. If you get into this Git repository, repository management services are key components of collaborative software development. So as I said, so multiple persons are working on a single project. So multiple files are accessing, or single file is accessing by different persons. So they have to work on some management repository. So they enable software developers to manage changes to the source code and related files, create and maintain multiple versions in one central place. There are numerous benefits of using them, even if you work in a small team or you are a one-man army. Your team might be having multiple persons, or your team having only single person. That is immaterial. But if you are working on, the single file or multiple files day by day, so it will track everything as per the version of the data. Using repository management services enables teams to move faster and preserve efficiency as they scale up. So using Git repository management, definitely you will scale up very efficiently, because you are maintaining everything as per a version, and you are maintaining secure manner, and you are giving access to all developers without losing of files fear. So definitely you will get better efficiency as soon as they scale up. So what is Git basically? A source code versioning system that lets you locally track changes and push or pull changes from remote sources. So this push and pull are the main operations everyone is working on Git. Let us say I have a branch or a file in the Git repository which is on some server. If you want to get that file into your local machine, you have to use pull operation. If you want to modify and you want to move that file into your Git repository, you have to use push operation. So these are the major operations Of course, we have other operations also, like merge operations and commit operations, and you know like checkout branch. So there are a lot of operations we have on Git repository, but these two are pull and push are the main operations we are doing on a regular basis. So what are the services available to access a Git? So as I said, this is a public repository. Everybody can access and everybody can modify and maintain their files on the Git. So what are all the possible ways we have to access the Git? So we have GitLab and GitHub BitBucket coding. So these are the services so far available to access a Git. The above are the services that provides remote access of a Git repository. In addition to hosting your code, the services provide additional features designed to help manage the software development lifecycle. Okay, so if we can look at the diagram, this is the Git main public repository, and these are the services available for the Git to access on remote machines like GitLab, GitHub, and BitBucket and coding. So based on the the resource availability or the requirement or the the suitable area, you can choose the GitLab or GitHub or BitBucket or coding. So we'll see what is GitLab. It's an open source software to collaborate, code. It has below features. So GitLab is an open source software, and you can directly install onto your machine, and then you can start accessing of your Git through GitLab. So GitLab actually started as a proprietary by Dintre, Job Projects, and Valray Sijo. These are the the persons who started this project, providing an alternative to the available repository management solutions in 2011. So actually, it was started GitLab introduced in 2011 by these two persons, and this is like main interface for the developers to log into this GitLab and access Git repository. So it has below features like manage Git repositories with the fine-grained access controls that keep your code secure. Because we have different logins in this GitLab, like developer role, administrator role, and other kind of roles will be having while you creating users, so that we'll be providing access permissions or control over the access of each and every user, so that your code will be insecure. Second one is perform code reviews and enhance collaboration with merge requests. So as I said, pull and push are the main operations. Apart from those, there is one more operation called merge request. Merge request, what it is doing is, when multiple persons are working on a same project or same branch, and one person is doing his changes after second person, and second person has done this operation like pushing all changes to Git, and first person is trying to push, then this Git will the GitLab will warns you that, so that there are changes happens before your request. So or please pull all latest into your local and apply your changes on then and push into Git. Something kind of warning message it will give you, so that you will review the code very frequently, so that you will enhance collaboration with merge request. That means you will collaborate, you will have a partnership with the persons who are working on the same project. You will talk to them and you will review the code, and you will have discussions with the persons who are working with the same project. So basically it establishes collaborations and the relations with the merge request. And third one is complete continuous integration and continuous development pipelines to build, test, and deploy your applications. So this will perform continuous integration and continuous development pipelines to build. So once you push the code changes into your Git, so you will fire a trigger kind of hook. So you will be calling this the automatic request as a hook, web hook, this hook will be automatically fires the deployment steps and will create the builds, and it will start automation testing if you are having any test against the push requests and give you the deployment to the developer. And next one is each project can also have an issue tracker, issue board. So these are all the additional features available in the GitLab. Apart from accessing of Git repository or hosting of your Git repository into your local, so it also have an issue tracker and issue a board where you can create an issue and you can see the summary of the issue, like who is working on this issue and who is going to follow up this issue, and when it was assigned and when it was completed and when it was delivered, kind of summary you can see on the board. So I think this GitLab is used by more than 1 lakh organizations. GitLab is the most popular solution to manage Git repositories on premises. So as I said, it's completely free and open source code. Okay, so this is about GitLab, and if you look at GitHub, this is also similar to GitLab, and it is a web-based hosting service for version control system using Git. It provides all of the distributed version control and source control management functionality of Git. Okay, so actually GitHub also similar to GitLab, and it is web-based hosting service for the Git repository. So GitHub is a Git-based repository hosting platform which was originally launched in 2008 actually. So this GitLab was launched in 2011, but this GitHub was launched in 2008. So this GitHub is publicly available and free service which requires all code stuff, other services. You push to GitHub and offer suggestions for improvement. Okay, so the below are the features provided by GitHub. GitHub provides access control and several collaboration features such as bug tracking, feature request, task management. So apart from hosting of your Git, it has some other access control and several collaboration features called bug tracking, feature request. When we look at GitLab, we have issue tracker and issue board. Similarly, we have bug tracking and feature request, task management boards we have in GitLab. It offers plan for both private repositories and free accounts, which are commonly used to host open source software projects. So it has a provision, the control private repositories as well as free accounts, which are created on this Git repository, can be managed with this GitHub. So it has almost 20 million users and 57 million repositories using this, making it the largest host of source code. So compared to GitLab, so GitHub is using more number of people in the world, and more number of repositories also having a relation to this GitHub. Projects on GitHub can be accessed and manipulated using the standard Git command line interface, and all of them standard Git commands work with it. So we have Git bash, Git here. So there are some UI, there are some the softwares where you can directly install onto your system, and you will directly type commands, Git line command lines commands, and you can access the Git repository files like Git pull request, Git push request, Git commit request, and Git merge request, checkout request. So there are some commands, so we can see in later sessions. So you can use directly those commands from the command line prompt, and you can directly pull all the files from the Git repository projects. GitHub allows registered and non-registered users to browse public repositories on the site. So as I told you, the GitHub is an interface, web-based interface. So you can once you install on your system, it has some URL, so you can directly log into that URL, even if you are not registered on the GitLab or GitHub or Git repository. A non-registered user also can log into that GitHub interface, and he can see the Git files or Git repositories, public repositories on the site. And when it comes to BitBucket, so this is one more service provider to contact the Git repository, like similar to GitLab and GitHub. This also launched in 2008 by an Atlassian startup. Originally only supporting Mercurial projects, but in 2010, BitBucket was acquired by Atlassian and other services from Atlassian, and their main market is large enterprises. So again, it's a combination of Git server and web interface product. So as I explained in the GitHub or GitLab, it also have a web interface, so that you will be looking at all the files on your system itself by logging to that URL of BitBucket. It allows users to do basic Git operations while controlling the read and write access to the code. So it also provides integration with other Atlassian tools. So as we see in GitHub and the GitLab, there are some other extra tools apart from Git repository access, like issue tracker, issue board, and bug tracker and task management services. So this BitBucket also the provides some of the tools which are already released in the market by Atlassian. So as part of code review or unit testing, or some of the bug tracking UIs, so they are also available with this BitBucket. So these below are the features we have in BitBucket. BitBucket offer both commercial plans and free accounts. So again, this also offers commercial plans and free accounts. It offers free accounts with an unlimited number of private repositories. I think which can have up to 5 users in the case of free accounts as of September 2000. So I think till 5 users we can use free accounts, and more than 5 users I think you'll be you have to get the license. It seems BitBucket integrates with other Atlassian softwares like Jira, HipChart, Confluence, and Bamboo. So as I told you in the BitBucket introduction, so apart from providing like Git server access, it has Atlassian tools like Jira. Jira is nothing but kind of issue tracker, bug tracker, like where you will be having a the dashboard kind of thing. There you can create issue, you can create a task, or you can create a scrum, or you could do all the operations how the agile modeling is happening. Like in the agile scrum, you'll be creating a sprint task and you'll be assigning it to team 4 to 5 weeks, and you will be having a option where you can put your daily stand up points, and you can create an issue and you can assign that issue to Scrum team member, and you can see everything in the Jira. And same time, HipChart. HipChart is nothing but this is a kind of charting between the logged in user to the Git BitBucket server. So there you can chat with the person who are already logged into the Git BitBucket, or offline users, and you can share the experience or the issues or the problems with the persons. Confluence and Bamboo are similar to this, the kind of dashboards where you can have a different kind of code review or testing kind of things. And these are the additional tools provided by the Atlassian softwares. BitBucket has traditionally marketed its services to professional developers with private proprietary software. So they are marketing their services for the professional developers with private proprietary software code. So I think these are licensed. BitBucket announced it had reached 5 million developers and 9 lakh teams on its platform. So it seems it is high compared to GitHub and GitLab. BitBucket has 3 deployment models: cloud, BitBucket server, and data center. So it has their own cloud. So there you can purchase the cloud, the computer resources, and you can deploy the repositories and you can access it. It seems they have their own cloud there, and they have a BitBucket server, so where you can have all these Atlassian tools along with the Git repositories, and also it has data center where they are maintaining all the relevant stuff. And coming to last one, coding is currently used by 3 lakh developers basically. One more thing I just wanted to let you know, this coding about coding. This coding was founded by Zhang He Long in Shenzhen on 2014. Basically, the Chinese person has incorporated this tool, actually coding tool, and not at I mean, being used in India, it seems in the international markets, it's purely located in Chinese market. Coding is currently used by 3 lakh developers and host 5 lakh projects. Their user base is rapidly growing on the mainland Chinese market, and they have already set their eyes on international users, but not that much it seems. So they are only concentrating on their market. So these four are the services provided to the access the Git repositories like GitHub, BitBucket, and coding. Now, among these four service providers, which one is best or which one is open source, like free software? Because there are persons who are not able to purchase the service provider to access Git repository. So, which is open source, which is beneficial? So they don't know. So we'll see next what is the what is the main advantages and disadvantages of each and every service provider, and which one is the open source for developers. So from the four Git provider services, which one is open source? From the four repository management services, only GitLab has an open source version. So only GitLab has an open source version. The source code of GitLab Community Edition is available on their website. The Enterprise Edition is proprietary. So it seems the Enterprise Edition is a proprietary, and source code of GitLab Community Edition is free, and you can download it and you can install on your system. So among these four provider services, GitLab is an open source. When it comes to GitHub, who is famous for open source friendliness and hosts the largest amount of open source project, and it's not an open source. This is famous for open source friendliness, but for the largest amount of open source projects and is not an open source. BitBucket is also not an open source, but upon buying the self-hosted version, the full source code is provided with product customization options. Coding is also entirely proprietary, and the source code is not available in any form. So it seems among four service providers, only GitLab is open source, and rest of three are seems proprietary, and you have to purchase it. So GitLab is open source in this. And how can we select which is best for developer? Yes, this is true. So because we have four, and which is the best? Because if you keep the whether it is a licensed or proprietary or open source or something, or whether it is costly or whether it is less costly, something, which one is best for the developer? How can we say which one is best? Because if you get into deep level of each and every service provider, then we'll be knowing so which is the best. Okay, GitHub and GitLab and BitBucket and coding all have public repository discovery functions. Yes, so all are having same functions, same the commands to access Git repository. So that we have to agree. Apart from GitLab, each one provides the ability to easily follow other users. Okay. And coding even lets you add customized tags to personal profiles, which helps to find and connect with other users with particular interest. If you keep GitLab as aside, each one provides the ability to easily follow other users. If you look at coding service provider, we have a provision to customize tags, personal profiles, which helps to find out, connect with other users with a particular interest. That is one feature in coding. And when it comes to second point, coding and GitHub and BitBucket are importing a repository based on multiple different version control system. That means today I have maintaining this Git repository this version control system on Git. Tomorrow I will use some Bradle or Maven or SVN subversion something. If you wanted to, these are all Git repositories. These are all repositories. If you want to import from one repository to another repository system, that is one version control system to another control system, GitLab will not support. Coding and GitHub and BitBucket only supports. So that is one more advantage. GitLab, on the other hand, only supports Git. So purely GitLab supports only Git. Git is the most popular version control system, but moving to GitLab could be complicated if you are using Mercurial or Subversion repositories at the moment. Yes, fine. So as I said, this only concentrating on Git, and if you are moving to GitLab, right now, like you are like you and your team is working on Git and you are moving to GitLab. That's fine so far, like you are using Git. But if you are moving to some other uh, repositories like Mercurial or SVN repositories at the moment, it is difficult to import. So you have to copy everything. This is very complicated when you go for GitLab. GitLab's repository importing features explicitly geared to help users migrate from other more popular platforms. So that is what GitLab, I mean, indirectly saying, like, are migrating, like, explicitly geared to help users migrate from other more popular platforms. This is giving an hint to the users who are using GitLab. So when looking at the importing feature, so it's better to go for other service provider, either GitHub or BitBucket or Code. So this way you can select based on your a requirement. Like let us say, like today I'm using Git and going on, like if you are still, or if you are going going forward, you only working on Git, then go for GitLab. But if you're not sure about the feature, like if you're moving on Git or you're moving to some other repository, then you have to decide, like make a decision on taking a service provider, either GitHub or Bitbucket instead of GitLab. Now, import features on different version control system. GitHub supports import of Git, SVN, HG, TFS. These are the repositories, and you can apply your import feature from the GitHub to these version control systems. And GitLab only supports Git, so no more, other things. This is only concentrating on Git. And coding support Git, SVN, HG. And BitBucket supports Git, Codeplex, Google Code, HG, SourceForge, SVN. It seems BitBucket supports more Git repositories, and I suggest them to go for BitBucket if you have capability to purchase it. And going forward, if your organization seems looking at working on different repositories, better you go for BitBucket compared to other repositories, because it supports more Git repositories like Git or Codeplex, Google Code, HG, SourceForge, SVN systems. Okay. Next, what is the terminology we are being using in different service providers? Like pull request. So this pull request word terminology will be calling in Bitbucket as same pull request, and when it comes to GitHub, this will be called as pull request, and when it comes to GitLab, it is a merge request. So snippet, Bitbucket snippet, share snippet of code can be public, internal, or private. So this word, termed as in GitHub as a gist, and in GitLab it's termed as snippet. And in repository, it's a term is termed as in Bitbucket as a repository, and in GitHub also same. When it in GitLab, it's a project. And again, in the Bitbucket, teams terminology will be referred as in teams, and GitHub is organizations, and it is in GitLab is groups. So these are the main terminologies. So we frequently using in repositories, and based on your service provider, the name and the way of calling or the command will get changed. Okay. This is about like the Git version control system and the service providers to access Git, and the advantages of each and every service provider, and the features, and the in detail about all service providers. Hope this clears about Git repository. Thank you.